Hello, everybody, and welcome to Omen of Ilmater. Ilmater, whatever it is. So, this is a bit of a special stream.
Ilmater.
Ilmater, you're right. This is a bit of a special stream. I'm pretty excited about this one because we actually have a guest DM going on right now, and that's actually going to be my little brother Kunsai, who you probably know from playing on the Friday night show. So, what's up, Eric? How you doing?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Awesome. Awesome. You a little nervous? First time DMing on stream?
Nah, I've been doing this for years. I'm good.
You have a DM for me personally in like, God, a year and a half or something like that. So I'm just excited to play in a game that you're DMing. So it's good stuff. And then Maggie has, Maggie has actually come to hang out with us as well, which is super exciting. So hi, Maggie. How you doing? It feels like we never see each other. Yeah.
We might be supposedly supposed to play 2 campaigns a week together, but I don't know what happens. I feel like...
Hey, listen, I'm pretty hyped for tomorrow night, okay? So
honestly, though, it's never our fault usually, so...
It has been mine, I know, solid twice, but that's okay. We don't need to harp on that one.
I'll be like in Korea and I'm still playing.
That's true.
At 2 a.m.
It's true.
Compares people to you when they're loyal about showing up to shows. That says something.
Not even just Korea either.
See,
I gotta fix something.
For me, my thing is that I have like a problem letting people down. So I'll like not sleep to make sure that like when I tell somebody I'm gonna do something, I'm like a fae. If I promise you, it's a fucking promise. It's gonna happen.
Show must go on.
Show must go on, right? That's I think there's 2 or 3 times you're out of country we played anyways, but that's okay. All right. All your volume is a bit low. I can actually hear it myself. It's a bit low. Yeah. I have you guys turned all the way up, so you'll be nice and loud. But that's okay. Why don't we turn it over to Eric? Eric, Kunsai, why don't you get this started for us? What's
All right. So just to let everyone who is watching at home know, this is actually something that's being done in one of my worlds that I created a while back. We're not going to go into a whole lot of detail about it, just because we don't have a whole lot of time. So I'm just going to try to hit the important parts for you guys with a little starting spiel here. So it's been 11 years since the Horde from the East swept through the defenses of the 6 city-states. In that time, a new order was erected on the decayed corpse of dead monarchies. Giants in the world stage have been quieted, and all that remained was a single despotic nightmare for the world to behold. It's been 3 years since the last of the bastions of the world surrendered to the Horde, marking the end of an era. Only one place stands against the Horde's might today, the city-state of Damont. But our story starts in the city-state of Celebu. It was once a haven of religious tolerance, and now it only remains as a burnt carcass of a once great nation, with only effigies to the godlike warlord remaining as symbols of worship. We start in an unassuming shack, nothing more than a burnt-out remnant of a previously beautiful chapel in dedication of Ogma. But it's not her worshippers that now stand in its ashes. Instead, 4 devout worshippers of Ilmater stand in the shadow of the chapel, the wind blowing through the cracked and broken walls. It is on the decision of these men and women that the world will either find freedom once again or be crushed under the boot of tyranny.
all right, nice.
So we weren't the ones that destroyed this. Just want to be clear. Gotcha.
That was not you guys. That was not you guys.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
You never know.
Sometimes you just wake up and you destroy the church.
Want to specify? Yeah, exactly. It's okay.
Thursdays, am I right?
Got a bit of a Hulk problem.
Well, it's only Monday, so let's not get ahead of ourselves yet.
Yeah, right. All right, so I have to ask. I mean, if you don't mind me kicking it off with a roll, if we're sitting inside a church of Ogma, can I roll a religion check to see how much I know of Ogma?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Can I do that as well?
Yes, anyone who would like to make yourself a nice little religion check thing.
Oops, sorry. I think I'm at disadvantage.
You know what? I played a character in a one-shot recently that was really bad at everything but got good rolls, so I'm going to try it.
Oh. God.
Oh, wait,
I have like a +4 to
at
this.
least roll Eric. That's amazing.
I have a +4 to this, and I'm like, shit, roll.
Wow, everyone rolled poorly. Well, this is still a well-known god of the region, so you guys do know that they are referred to as the Lord of Knowledge, and are generally worshipped by bards, inventors, and knowledge seekers. Other than that, though, you don't know too much in the realm of specifics. It's a lesser god, so it's not surprising that you guys would not know a terrible amount about.
And today's episode is brought to you by the number 9.
So, you three stand before a rather tall human man who would seem unassuming were it not for his incredibly not so standard garb. He is shirtless, but in his forearms, his chest, and on his back, there are a number of corset piercings. For those of you who are not familiar, there are literally piercings all down his arms that have red ribbons weaved between them, the symbol of Ilmater. He also has a hook buried deep in the back of his left hand. He stands there fiddling with it as you guys stand in silence for a moment. He looks up at you. The priest's name is Elias Holzor. And he says to you, "I've called you here at a crossroads. There has been unrest in the capital of Selavu. There have been worshippers of Ilmater burning themselves alive in protest to the tyranny that has beset this great city-state. The people, they cry out for freedom. And as worshippers of Ilmater, it is our responsibility to heed their call. I call you."
Of course. Freedom must be provided to all the people. I agree. Speaks Gadira as he says this.
At least they take the suffering from the others.
No, I think we should help people.
He nods in affirmation of what you said as he steps down from a small raised up a platform and steps up to greet each of you in earnest. He says, "I've called the three of you as you are some of the most devout worshippers of Ilmater, and most importantly, some of the most able worshippers. I ask you here because we stand at the precipice of what could be the greatest victory for breaking the bondage that enchains this land. The city-state of Selavu, at the capital, stands at the edge of unrest. Its people cry out for freedom, and now they are prepared to fight for it. And if I am correct, our plan will allow them to get such freedom. In the coming weeks, it will become I will leave it to you to find a way to bring the populace to a point where they are ready to revolt against their captors, and then it will be your responsibility to take them to their freedom, to peel the oppressive chains from these people, and if Ilmater wills it, to bring them their true freedom."
They need is a taste of justice. Once they have that in their mouths, they'll want nothing but.
That is our hope. This task will not be taken alone. There are agents of Ilmater inside the city, though they must work in quiet. Our people are not very well liked. The only god that these people worship is their warlord, who they take in godlike reverence. They blaspheme against our Lord and the other gods of the realm. It is my hope that we might be able to use this in some way to defeat them, but I will leave that to you. We have an agent who will get you inside the city, the capital of Selavu. One who will take you to its people, and hopefully one who will help you find their freedom.
And what is this agent's name?
And you hear from behind him, "My name is Garrett." And you see a spry young half elf step from the shadows of the chapel, and the priest looks back at him sharply, and Garrett kind of raises his hands, nonchalantly walking up, and he says, "Hey, listen, I said I would be here. I never said I'd be here on time. And he looks at the three of you. This is who you brought together? And before we continue on, I would like to give you guys a moment each to describe your characters quickly. We'll start with Maggie.
Sure. Gadira is a 3'11", 120-pound hill dwarf, and she is 322 years old. She's pretty old. She has like blue eyes and light brown skin and curly white hair and a curly white beard that's short, and it's very well kept. She holds a holy symbol of a great sword, or well, this time it's not a great sword, a holy symbol, and it has hands that are intertwined with red ribbon, and she's wearing chainmail, and a prayer wheel dangles at her side, as well as on her shield she has the same symbol that you saw in the hands with the ribbon, and a tabard with that same symbol as well. And then she also holds a short sword that kind of has like this interesting hue of red that's glinting off of it, and some pouches with components possibly, and 2 backpacks that are held on her back.
Okay. Ollie, you like to take it from here?
Law is a kobold. Law is a 2-foot-tall kobold that makes Gadira look huge. He's pretty chubby for a kobold, actually. He's wearing a breastplate and like a tabard of a regular person, which is like full body armor for him. And the tabard like goes straight all the way down. It's dirty at the bottom. It's dirty at the top. The middle's pretty clean, actually. And he's got just a bunch of junk with him. Just junk. Like, if he's meant to be a legendary hero, he one, he's a kobold, and 2, he doesn't look like one. And he's like right now, he's like using his own tail. His scales are white and gold, by the way, which is a little weird. But he's using his own tail to pick at his own teeth while he's being like looked at. But on his tail is like a ring, a signet ring, which shows the symbol of Ilmater and all that stuff. He's got the symbol on him, so close enough.
All right, and then Scott.
Ingram is he's been through some stuff. So he is an ASMR, but despite being an ASMR, standing at 5'11", he's 210s because he's kind of beefy or whatever. Jet black eyes. His skin is at one point in time it probably had like that holy glow to it that most ASMR are known to have, but instead it's almost looks as though a shadow has been cast over it, like whatever fairness it once had. It literally just looks as though a dark shadow was always cast over his skin. His hair is very unkempt. He wears half plate armor, but the armor itself is not very well kept. The armor itself is like blood smears and chunks of enemies and stuff like that on it. For the parts of his face that you can see, there's definitely scarring there. Some of the scarring you can tell has come from combat, and some of the scarring you guys can tell is ritualistic. Paying homage to Ilmater and taking the pains and suffering from others. You guys might know his past and might know that he's been through a lot, and he's kind of a person that just, takes things serious. Why so serious?
Okay, and the half elf steps forward and kind of looks at the priest and he says, "Okay, if I take over." The priest nods curtly and he looks to you guys and he says, "So, to give you an idea of what's going on inside the city, as your fine leader has told you, the people are, they're all amped up. They're ready to revolt. But the problem is that they don't have a lot in the way of, they're kind of scared. There's a lot of soldiers inside there. There's guards, and they need something like a symbol to grab onto, And what better symbol than Ilmater? Yeah, Ilmater. Yes, that guy.
So he's supposed to sneak us into the city. There have been how many priests that have burned themselves in protest? I say we find our way into the city, burning the guards. That would be a symbol that they can flock to, like any other moth to a flame. We will.
What's everyone's names? Hold on a second.
Ingram.
Yep. Okay.
Lore.
Yeah.
Lore. Lore's not that hard to
Oh,
forget.
Laura. Okay. Because I don't think everyone changed their names, and
Oh, I didn't.
I don't think I did either. Because that helps.
Does.
Now, Ingram, always so quick to flame with one another. Now all of these people could be the children of Ilmater. Don't you think it's worth their time to give them the opportunity to change their minds?
I think what we'll have to do is make sure that they suffer enough that they'll wish they were children of Ilmater.
Lord don't thinkings that's how he's workings. Lord don't think big tall man understand how we do. He's big city. Lord can sneak into city. Lord live city, like tunnels, sewers under city. It's easy for Lord. You big and you chunky is no. Lord not entirely sure how you's gonna be getting zins. So Lord can do.
I do
kinda
not
like
need to
this way.
sneak into places.
Well, actually, the half-elf cutting in, he says, I don't know if you guys recognize this, but you don't exactly... You're not subtle, all right? I mean,
Lord can be subtles.
yeah, I'm sure that you can be little, you can be hard to see, which will be helpful, but you're not subtle. You're a kobold that's wearing breastplate. Come on, man. Listen, I have a great way for us to get inside the city, as long as you guys don't mind a little bit of sword crawling. It's going to be great. It's going to be easy. And the best part is we're going to make our way right into the Temple of Ilmater, which means that we can connect right with the agents, and hopefully we can get this thing started in a couple weeks.
Nothing could be filthier than the soul of an evil man, and I always cover myself in bits and pieces of them. I have no problem crawling through your sewer.
Don't mind him. He can be a little rash at times.
He's giving me
You'll
what's
get used to him with time, though.
He's giving me what you call a heebie-jeebies.
He opens his mouth till I responds and then closes it again for a moment. And then he says, okay then. So we can go, Elias? And the priest looks at him for a moment and looks to you and he says, listen, I know that there will be times when Garrett will seem uncouth at best, but I promise you, if you listen to him and if you follow his lead, he will help us to accomplish our goals. Remember, it is sometimes the most broken of men who can lead us to break our chains. I wish you the best of luck. I will not be joining you in the city for the time being. I am a wanted man, and my sight could set off the guards even more than they already are, and we don't want anything that could jeopardize this plan. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope to see you on the other side. Go with Ilmater's blessing, my children.
I, nod to that, casting like a semi-judgmental gaze onto him, but onto the rogue, but willing to go along.
All right. And with that, Garrett looks at you guys and he says, "Come on, it's still dark out, and we could probably make our way to the wall without being spotted. Before we do that, though, I think that we should probably just get something pretty plain. As you can tell, I'm not one of you guys, so to speak, and I have no intention on putting my life on the line here. So if you guys get us caught, I will abandon you. That's not a question. That's not an if. I will leave you to die.
Suffering is for the holy and the wicked. If you are neither, then you should stay out of its path."
Barrett is what Lore like to call the cowards, like most big peoples. He's
Well,
no
I
problem.
will tell you, young one, if you are ever in the state of being left behind or not, I will be sure to stand by your side and help you. Whether you leave me to die or not, it does not matter.
Yeah, cool, great. You ready to go?
Dark Wolves is Lors' favorites.
Oh, yeah.
And with that, he just kind of shoulders his pack, looks at Elias, just kind of like gives him like a half awkward like wave or salute, and then turns and walks through a back door, which is really just a hole in the church. Mm-hmm. As you guys make your way through the countryside, just one thing to kind of quickly clarify about the city-state. The city-state was one of the most important city-states culturally and, more importantly, agriculturally, because this city-state has the largest fields and produces the most food. That just something to mention on the other side. So as you make your way to the capital of the city-state, which is named after the city-state itself, Selavu, you see there are large walls that have in them, or once had in them, carvings of the various gods of the realm. This city-state was completely tolerant of all religions, evil, neutral, goodly. Anyone was allowed to pay homage to their god as long as they did so in a non-violent way in the city. And there was, on the outside, there was once effigies to the various great gods. However, those have been destroyed over time by the conquering army. As you guys make your way to the city walls, if you guys would, as you get a little bit closer, probably a couple 100 feet away, he looks back at you and he says, "All right, from here we're gonna try to be a little sneaky. I mean, you don't have to try hard because the city walls are like 40 feet tall. It's gonna be really hard for them to spot us at night, but just give it a shot." And he's going to turn back and he's going to start trying the stealth. So if you guys would roll me stealth checks, please.
Absolutely. I'm so good at stealth. Let's see. Let's make sure I apply disadvantage because I'm wearing half plate. Hey!
I am not a stealthy person.
Wow. Okay.
At all.
You did it. You did it.
Wait, you got advantage on stealth?
I got disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Why do you have disadvantage on
Because I'm
it?
wearing half plate.
He's an armored one.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be. I have no bonuses to this shit. 14. Whew, not as bad as I thought.
Nice. So you guys are actually able to keep relatively quiet, and you get close to the wall. As you make your way across the wall, he leads you about 100 feet along the wall until you see a sewer grate, a large iron sewer grate, similar to ones you'd see outside any city with water running out of it. He walks up to the sewer grate and he kind of pulls out a dagger and taps on it and listens for a moment, and he nods, and then he steps back and he says, "Yeah, you guys are gonna want to step back for a moment. Also, get ready to move quickly." And then from there, he casts a quick spell. And as he casts the spell, there's silence for a moment. He looks around, kind of like, "Did it work?" And then you hear a boom as the iron grate goes flying across the field.
Well, that seemed a bit unnecessary.
And
Garrett said that we need stealth and yet make big booms. Garrett is what I call craft in head.
Let's go.
Ooh, the sewer smells fresh and tasty.
I'll go last.
He runs into the sewers and he says, as you walk in, he says, "Yeah, I know that was a little bit, not expected, but that's the only way in." As he just runs into the sewer. No, not actually runs, but you have to start wading. The sewer water comes up to about shin height for the humans. For the shorter folk, it can. For the kobold, it comes almost up to you're swimming through this. Luckily,
I'm a kobold. It's okay.
Luckily, this is not runoff from like cisterns and stuff like that. This is just excess water runoff, so it's not foul or anything. But
Okay.
You guys have to sift your way through this for about almost 200 or so feet before he points off to the left-hand side. He says, "Over here is a ladder up to the Temple of Ilmater. But for now, I must leave you. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the guards don't come and find this area. I'm going to go repair that, and most importantly, I'm going to go and distract them for a little bit. You're going to meet your agents there. You're going to go ahead and talk to them about your mission. Then you're going to get to work. And I'll meet you guys later. Good luck. And then
I
he
actually
turns to
want
run.
to ask him one question before he goes.
As he like kind of turns to run, you like make a pointed look at him, and he turns back and he says, "What?"
The dangers here, are they people or more than that?
Oh, they're people, but
I'll nod.
yeah, these people aren't from here. They're very different. Their culture is very different.
Doesn't matter. They all bleed the same.
Indeed, they do. I'll see you guys soon. And he turns and runs off.